So today I'd like to talk to you about some different number types. Okay, we've learned different number families since you were probably in first or second grade. You've talked about evens and primes and squares and all those things. So today I'm going to teach you some new number types, some of which you may have heard of, but some of which you may have known. So the first type I want to talk to you about are real numbers. Which is denoted by this funky looking R that has kind of two posts on it. Okay? And real numbers are essentially all numbers from negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay? That's not the greatest definition in the world. There are much more complex definitions that state what a real number is. But essentially, for our purposes, in 8th grade, any number that you can think of is going to be a real number. Okay? All numbers that you can think of when you're in 8th grade, more than likely, is a real number. Okay? When you get the higher levels of math, a couple years from now, you start dealing with a couple of non-real numbers, such as the imaginary number I. But for right now, any number you think of is a real number. Our next definition is integers. Okay? And an integer is a real number which has no decimal. Okay? Basically, it's a real number which doesn't have a decimal, or it's like 3.0. Okay, 0, doesn't matter. 3. Okay, that's an integer. A negative integer is an integer below 0. Okay. Positive integer is an integer above 0. You call these your counting numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, positive integers. Okay, and then the last term we're going to learn for today is whole number. Okay, this has a fairly contentious definition. There are many people, that think that whole numbers mean one thing, they mean another thing. Whether they include 0 or negatives seems to be up for debate. But for the purpose of this course, we're going to say that whole numbers are positive integers and 0. Okay? So it's basically all the positive integers and 0. So, if we were trying to map this out, real numbers, integers, negative integers, positive integers, and whole numbers, okay, and where these things fit, we could use kind of circles to kind of show us how these things work. We start with a huge circle, okay, this circle contains all numbers. Okay? Then within this big circle, somewhere, okay, would be your real numbers. And within that real numbers circle, we'd have our integers. Okay? Numbers that would be in real numbers but not in integers would be something like a 3.4. Right? 3.4 has a decimal, so it's not an integer, but it is a real number. So it would be here. Okay? So we can say 3.4 is here. Okay? As I said earlier, a number that's not real but it is a number would be I, okay? Which equals square root of negative 1. So, within integers, we said we had different types of integers. We have, first off, we would have whole numbers. Okay? And here, we can have negative numbers, or negative integers. Within the whole numbers, we have positive integers. So with this map, okay, and this does not include all the different number types. We haven't gotten into rational and irrational, and some of the other things we'll get into later in the semester. But here, for these new definitions that we've learned, okay, we can begin to place numbers. So if we wanted to know where 2 fits, okay, 2 is a number, it's a real number, it's an integer, right, it doesn't have a decimal, okay, it's not negative, but it is a whole number, okay, and 2 is a positive integer. 0, 0 is a number, it's real, it's an integer, it's not negative, it's whole, but it's not a positive integer, right, positive integers are above 0, so 0 would be here. -6, all real, integer, negative integer. -2/3, all real, it's not an integer, right? 2/3 is the same thing as -0.6, so -2/3 will be there. So, this is a basic introduction to different number types, and some of the number types you're going to need to know going forward. I hope it helped.